Okay. Oh, yay. So sweet. It looks like we're on live, folks. Hello, hello, welcome. Um, it's been a long time, I feel. Where has the month gone, right? We're going to be tuning in today for the month of September. But like, I've kind of like been looking more at the moon. So I hope you can hear me, by the way. Let me know if you can hear me or not. And the audio's okay. And I've been thinking about the lunar moons, and part of some of the other teachings I've like kind of like started on my spiritual path. There's this recognition of the power of the moons and these 13, 12, 13 lunar kind of months that can happen. And I'm recognizing even within the Kabbalistic tradition, which is a lot of like kind of where my focus, I would say, has been, that this too is a part of that path. And so recognizing the power of the new moon. Today, the 3rd, 4th, we have this new moon in Virgo. So we are beginning something new and coming actually towards the end of almost like a lunar year, which is also kind of fascinating. So we're going to be tuning in, moving forward with this energy of the new moon as kind of like our beginning chapter of the month. Okay, so if the days are off for the monthly energy updates, that is why. But yeah, it's been a long time. You know, the summer is now officially over, I guess we could say. There are new beginnings happening for everyone, you know, kids returning to school, people starting new jobs or new career shifts, whether you yourself have returned to school. Um, there is something here that's like almost like a reflection, you know, as we enter into this next part. And so, as we're here together, we're going to do this tapping into the collective energy for this next 4 weeks or so until the next new moon. What are some things we need to look at as a collective? Do a bit of like reflection, I guess, on what these might look like. And also, there'll be a chance for those of you who would like private cards pulled or like, you know, your own personalized card reading to do so. So, you can let me know in the comments section if that's something that is pulling you. But let's start with a little bit of a kind of just a grounding to bring us here. I feel like it's been like so long, so even I maybe just need that. Um, so many changes, so much releasing so that we can all move forward. And so here we are yet again. If it helps for you to have your eyes closed, you can do so. And just noticing your body here in the space. And just notice your feet on the ground, the floor beneath you, your buttocks on the chair. At what points does your body make contact with where it is that you're sitting or laying down? Maybe where your hands are rested on your lap and the point of contact that they make with each other. And even notice the clothes on your skin and where there's open skin touching the air. Just bringing your full awareness here to this moment. And if thoughts are coming and going, that's okay, just recognizing them. Just acknowledging that they exist and allowing your awareness to return to those sensations. And we're going to do and take 3 deep belly breaths together here. So on empty lungs, inhaling deep into your belly, extending it out. And chest. And exhale out, pushing and drawing the belly button in. Really squeezing before you inhale again, filling the belly. Extending it out as far as you can and exhaling. Squeezing that belly button to the spine. And one last time, inhaling. And letting it go. And as your breath returns to a normal pace, as you just recognize that this next month we call to that Virgo moon, that new moon, and its shadowiness. It's a chance of beginnings. It's a chance of something new starting. We're so blessed as humans to have this energy, this lunar tide or cycle that's continually ebbing and flowing, because this too is a reflection of our internal world. We too are constantly birthing, dying, and rebirthing. And maybe it seems repetitive. I feel like sometimes for myself, I'm like, I feel like this is all I talk about. It's like this truly is what is happening. And each day we get a new chance to tap into this rebirthing energy. And so this new moon in Virgo, this new moon rebirthing, so that we get a chance to also birth something new, that which we desire, that which we want to hold up in our highest regard. This is that chance for each of you now. So we call your ancestors, your guides, those beings of the luminous light, for them to be present here during the session together. And those 4 directions, and the archangels ruling those 4 directions, the as above and the so below, to enter through all those 4 directions. As the space is now open for us to tune in to these collective cards for this next Virgo month. Oh, card already flipped. Enlightenment. So I want to just speak to a bit, I think it was the live I did the other day, just kind of spontaneous live as I was in the midst of what I'm pretty sure was COVID. Hi there, name here for sure. We'll do some personal cards in a moment after the collective cards. So thanks. Anyways, I think at the time I was talking about something around forgiveness. That was kind of what came up, like any resentments that are being held, how can we forgive? And I didn't realize it at the time, but then I later on went to go and read about like the Jewish calendar for this Rosh Chodesh is what they call it. Chodesh, is that how you pronounce it? Not Jewish people. Nor do I speak the language of Jewish people. But I realized that the month for this month actually is tied to forgiveness. This is the theme. I believe the month is called Elul. And I was like, oh, so fascinating. And right before I came on here, I saw another YouTuber post something about a theme. They were posting about Mary Magdalene and the forgiveness for this month. And I was like, oh, wow, okay, there's something here. There's something here. So we're going to call to Mary Magdalene. We're going to call to that energy of the mother. And I say that we have here, oh, hopefully we can see. I need a better way to get these cards lit up for you guys. But we have the Enlightenment card kind of like starting us off. I wanted to say shining us off. But this Enlightenment card, we have the father and a child. Where is the mother? Where is the mother? Mary Magdalene kind of being in the sense shunned, so to speak. So whatever that might be for us as we enter into this month, we have the Vanity card and we have forgiveness. Oh, shit. Oh, so like, this is weird. I feel like I've talked about this in the past around the feminine energy, having a sense of forgiveness towards the masculine because of the different challenges, especially, in this card, right off the bat, it's like the energy of like, what is Christianity, right? There's something here about the father being the hyper focus, the masculine being the hyper focus, or this patriarchal sense, which has been great. It's led us to where we are, which has its pros and cons, but it's been at the demise of the feminine energy. And it's kind of gotten to the point of this vanity. Look, it's almost like the same man. It's a wise man there standing in front of these people, kind of bragging, the vanity of it all. However you want to portray that. But it's almost as though we've moved through this all father energy of certain religions, certain ways of living, and spirituality has kind of led to a damnation. And an unfortunate part that I think needs to happen at a deep collective level for everyone. Everyone has healing around this. Everyone has recognition of the inequality of masculine and feminine energies within themselves, because it's not about you being a man or a woman. It's about recognizing how this all bridges together. And this forgiveness is going to support the wounded inner child that you experienced, and also the collective, I want to say actually the collective imagination, because here's a child sitting with this purple rhino being like nestled, okay? And so there's something here that this forgiveness this month is going to support us with, envisioning something greater, more than we ever thought was possible, and also heal this vanity of this masculine, you know, that what was once enlightenment, which was once like such a bright evolution of spirituality, quickly became vanity and wounded others, caused harm to others. And I keep getting the thought to just share this. You know, I did a medicine journey a while back, where I entered this journey, and I say medicine journey, plant medicine, just is like, I guess, a bit of background there. Not knowing really what was going to happen, I woke up that morning with a horrible back pain. Literally, you guys, I was walking like my mom. My mom has like some mobility issues and like has this like major like hunched forward sort of energy, I would say. And all of a sudden, here I was walking like my mother. And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to go about my beautiful day now? I don't know where this came from. I woke up, all of a sudden I can't walk. Our plan initially had been to walk kind of like along the river valley and, you know, experience the plants. And that quickly changed to the point where then we did go out into the river valley, returned back because something just felt like, okay, you need to be back home. And as soon as I got back home, I like went through this grieving process. I was like, scared. I didn't want to feel the energy of what felt like the most intense grief and sorrow. I was just like, I was trying to push it. And if you've done any medicine work with plants or otherwise, you know, like once you get resistance, you try to push something away, it just comes stronger, right? Like, and that's where we get terms like a difficult trip. It's like you have to relax into it and just allow the process. And so I feel like it took me a while to just finally release the control and let this unbearable grief and sorrow come to the forefront. And when it did, the messages that were coming through were like everything tied to collective feminine healing. Mary Magdalene, the mother Mary, and like the loss of her son, and like all these sort of archetypal stories were coming through. And it was also linking to my motherhood, like my child, my own daughter, and also my being a daughter to my mother. And it was such a beautiful realization and healing or processing of this grief that was both collective and individual. So I'm saying that because I feel like it's kind of tied to these three cards right now as we enter into this month. Like, I mean, what are the odds? I pull the forgiveness card right here. And forgiveness, you know, I mentioned it in the email this morning to the mailing list, was like, there's something about forgiveness that many people don't like. And I think for me personally, I know it's tied to the Christian upbringing. It's like, you have to ask God for forgiveness. You're a sinner. You've done something bad, wrong. You need to repent. And there's this negative energy of like shame and guilt that's tied to it. But this isn't what the type of forgiveness is that I'm talking about. This is about a forgiveness of recognizing our own faults, being willing to admit when we ourselves have been vain, or we ourselves have been self-centered or caused harm to others, so that we can develop a sense of deeper understanding about ourselves. We have an oyster card here. So there's some pearl of wisdom, this enlightenment that can come through with this forgiveness. Okay, there's something inside that you would never even think is possible if you can allow yourself to kind of get into the murky uckiness of that grief, of the sorrow, of the theme or event or scenario, the relationship with the individual that maybe there's some like tension in which this forgiveness is being called. And this isn't at all, golden egg at the bottom. This isn't at all to say that we're saying, oh, what this person or situation, whatever happened, is okay. It's just more, forgiveness is about releasing yourself. Okay, releasing yourself from that challenge, from that energy, so that you yourself can be like a sovereign being, and you also free the other person. What a gift if everyone could just free each other, so to speak, energetically. People wouldn't feel like they owe people anything, whatever the case might be. So there's something here for us to recognize, and especially, like I said, around this past, these kind of collective wounds of the feminine, collective wounds of what whatever your relationship is with like Christianity or other type of organized religion. There's something there for you. So let's see a collective tarot. And then we're going to pull maybe one of these sacred symbol cards. Oh, I thought I pulled another deck out. Oh, that's weird. I left it over there. That's fine. We'll see if I grab it. I got a couple new decks, so I'm excited to, okay. I'm excited to see what it is. Use them with you all. Ooh, the Devil card. These are the Thoth tarot deck. In this card itself, we have the energy of the masculine and feminine in both of these sort of zygotic emblems. There's a feminine energy and there's a masculine. These little figures, I'm not sure if you can see that inside. But the devil is like, I'm really being drawn to the letter Ayin, that letter that is the I, okay? Envisioning and seeing what wants to be seen around all these parts in your individual life, because as the devil card represents, there's sort of attachment that can come from that. In the sense that when you don't forgive someone, you're just holding yourself hostage from in that relationship. You're holding yourself hostage from in the past. And maybe this is even a bit of like the devil coming in and saying, hey, like, even I have been scapegoated by religion, but look, I'm still smiling. He's like got like a smile on his face, if you can see that. He's like, doesn't bug me much, because I'm going to still exist in every aspect in which I know that I'm a necessary being. I'm a necessary archetypal energy for all of existence, and for God to exist, right? There needs to be this polarity. So where are you focusing your eye? And on that note, we also have the Prince of Swords. And I'm really seeing the devil as like this energy, this like green kind of emerald chrysalis being who is maneuvering these other little creatures that are pulling the cart. And notice how all these little beings being like pulling the cart are actually just reflections or like mirror images of the guy riding the chariot. That he doesn't see any difference. And perhaps this is something that will help us this month, is to recognize like the mirror of the wounding. Okay, so hey, you over there that have caused me harm, how can I start to see that I too have caused that same harm elsewhere? You might have to look into a mirror. And I think this is where those practices like the Ho'oponopono, that Hawaiian forgiveness technique, can really be beneficial, because we start to see that we can both be asking in a way or speaking the need for forgiveness, and also apologizing because of, the fact that we all karmically or cause and effect experience the same energy. I'm going to pull like one more of these for some reason. So this is a collective reading for those of you who are just showing up. If you want your own personal cards pulled after we're done, you can let me know in the comments. Is there anything else we need to know, even about the like vanity component, Spirit? What would that look like? Ooh, this one. The Priestess. So we have this High Priestess card, the letter Gimel. So we have two kind of trump cards, 2 and 15. We have the Devil before, and now we have the High Priestess, which is number 2. Just gonna have something to drink. And so with this priestess card, like the priestess is the one that kind of like travels us over the abyss, over the darkness into where we would have the three spheres of the higher sephira, the higher triad on the tree of life. And the reason I'm saying this is because in that higher triad, we actually have the completion of this symbol of, we have Keter at the top, like kind of like the all father, I want to say, the all being, the all existence. And then we have like a father energy, and we also have the mother energy of Bina. So it's like this combination of the two. And the question around this card, though, is around the vanity. So what about this priestess card? Could be maybe a confirmation or clarity of this vanity card. And it feels as though it's coming to the fact that with this priestess, this inner feminine energy within all of us, this is like the key when done in an appropriate way. You know, like I'm not going to state judgments to people. People are allowed to do whatever they want, I guess, you know. But there are definitely a lot of folks out there utilizing this like role of a priestess, or this role of the sacred feminine in a way that's actually just perpetuating more harm. And so perhaps for some of you, it's important to start to recognize, how am I also being vain or putting myself up on a pedestal in this sense that it's actually not at all helping us transmute and heal or forgive what needs to be healed, so that we can enter into that higher kind of triad and find the balance of the Holy Trinity. Those are those three. And again, in this card, it's like we're missing that. We're missing the mother, so to speak. Well, I could say the mother is the earth, but anyway. So this high priestess, how and where are you stepping into your role of this divinity that transcends the darkness of the abyss, so that you can bring this balance of this like triangle within you, this triad within you? There's something about this that I think is going to be really important as we enter into and continue to move through this month. And you know, interesting that I'm saying this now, but Virgo being the virgin, and it's usually in I know in like some Thelemic rituals, like the Gnostic Mass, like that priestess would be identified as a virgin. Like technically the person playing the virgin or the priestess would be a virgin. And so there's something about that innocence that I think is also important. Okay, what card here? Collective energy for the month. A sacred symbol that we can perhaps meditate on or explore. You could draw this symbol out and connect to it. Magic. That's just the pentagram, not just. But this is the magic card. This is the representation of the 5 elements, the 5 senses, all those energies that exist within you and around you. Fire, water, earth, air, spirit, right? So for this month, you could draw this symbol, meditate on it, connect to the energy of 5 through your hand, like, you know, 5 fingers, 5 toes, 5 whatever, holes and things like that. There is something about the magic of our beingness, this humanness that is here. Hey, Andrew, thanks for being here. Yeah, and so wherever it is for you that you're tuning in, I want to just point out too, this magic card actually is the number 3, if you can see that. I'm not sure if it's showing it. So again, we have the representation of that Trinity energy. Oh, I could go into so many things about this symbol, but I'm not going to do that right now. So I feel like that's all I have to say right now about Let's call actually an animal, just an animal. Actually, no, we had the oyster, but I feel like for whatever reason, another animal wants to show up right now. Like what's an actual animal? Not that oysters aren't, but I feel like that had a different message. Let's see. What animal might want to show us and guide us on this journey, whether you do shamanic journeying, astral traveling, you might want to actually call upon this animal to be a bit of a guide for you in the next 4 weeks. Okay, animal, you can show yourself now, please. Ooh, okay. Ooh, well, I'm going to go with this one. Well, I'll just show you all three that fell. It's interesting because we had these two first. These both fell on the floor, and I want to just speak to me, the bee and the hummingbird. It feels like these two, their season is done, okay? These are air. Both of them are going to be kind of gone now that we're out of the summer, at least here in Canada. And then we have the hyena, which to me, this reflection of this dark happening time. We have the half moon, right? Which there seems like there's something about the halfway point of the month. You know, I definitely encourage you to come back, maybe join in for the like weekly lives, especially in like a 2-week period. Because let's see, I'd love to hear what's kind of coming or showing up for you. But you know, I sent out in the mailing list, and I didn't really start this off with this, but maybe I'll share it here in a moment. Is this idea of more play. And the hyena is like a trickster. It's very much a playful energy, you know, just like these two are very life-giving and light. Like if you've ever seen a hummingbird fly, there's something just so graceful about it, so joyful about it. The hyena can be a little bit more intense, but also there's a benefit to its like humor, I guess. I don't know. I like the hyena is kind of like an eerie kind of creature. So perhaps the hyena, if you feel called to the other two, even though summer is going to be over, perhaps you wish to link with them and draw upon them and their wisdom in journey, in your meditation, or however you go about spending your day. So I feel like that is all I'm going to speak for the collective cards. We're going to go into personal card readings here. And so we thank those guides and those energy beings, those luminous beings, for their support, their guidance through the collective reading. And now we just call forth those that wish to be present for the personal card pulls, the guidance that the cards may have for them, their ancestors. Thank you. So if you would like personal cards pulled, you can let me know. I see name here for like cards. So hopefully you're still here. Ooh, we will pull some for you. Start with the tarot. Name here, wherever you are. Pull some cards. Name here. This month of the September new moon beyond to the next 4 weeks. Put some guidance for this name here. It's funny me saying that name here. So the invitation to you, name here, to breathe down into your belly, solar plexus, pelvis area. Really a highly important part for our intuition, for our creative abilities. And it's like, I don't know if you're a man or a woman or what your plan is, or if you're, because it doesn't really matter. You could still be attempting pregnancy or fertility things, if that's a thing for you. I don't know. I keep looking at the hook in the hook. I'm going to show you in the eye. If you were to actually look this up, I've seen someone, I think it might be a book I have. I've seen them distinguish between all the different parts of this eye and what it means, I think in terms of the brain. If you want to look that up, that might be important for you too, but I was kind of seeing it more from the lens of like almost like a hook in like the uterus, or hook in like there's something about the ovaries. I'm not really sure what that is. Is someone like trying to draw forth money from you, or trying to take things? And it's feeling a bit like, oh, you don't have enough to give. And I want to say this is even from a physical, like even a financial state. We have here the Fortune or Wheel of Fortune card, which is kind of like the halfway point in the tarot. This wheel that continually spins. Yeah, I almost feel like there's like a hook for you in your, must just be, I don't know, maybe it's just like an energetic hook. Okay, let's just clarify this, please, Spirit. Yeah, okay. So there's something, this is the Eight of Swords. There is something kind of interfering with your energy. And it could be somebody, let's pull one of these. It could be someone that you know, probably it's someone that you know, you've been in relationship with, an ex or some form of that like, ooh. This is what I'm talking about. I like when the cards jump out. Impasse. Yeah, that's definitely okay. I just want to point out this is a sacral chakra card, so exactly what I'm talking about. There is something here that you're having to surpass, this energy, and I'm assuming you're like this other energy is a masculine, whether it is a father, whether it is some other masculine energy, a partner, ex-partner, someone that has kind of like, yeah, I feel like they've like violated you is what I want to say. However that is, if it's physical, it's definitely energetic. And it seems to you like, how am I going to pass this? They're interfering with your abundance. They're interfering with your ability to create. They've interfered even possibly with like this fertility side of things. Like, our ability to birth child is very much tied to all these other energetics, in my opinion. That's not a medically approved statement, So there's something here that I feel like can be done with your sacral energy. This could be cord cutting. This could be, where you just pull it out yourself with your hand, imagine it. But I think definitely a ritual. And perhaps this ritual would be at best for you to start planning around the full moon, because full moon is really a time to let go. So whatever is going to come up over the next couple weeks until the full moon name here, utilize that as like reflections for you to then bring forward into that ritual. I definitely would recommend the ceremony for the full moon. Yeah. Okay, let's pull an animal card for you. There's something here. It's going to support you with healing. If you need support with that cord cutting, that's something I do with folks, whether it's in person or online. It can be intense, but it can be very beneficial, especially if you're, most likely if you're here, you probably had some type of not great relationship, because I definitely have experienced these things. But this can be like, it can be helpful and healing, though intense, when you release these holds on your life, right? And perhaps it's starting like the collective reading was named here. The collective reading was around the forgiveness. So maybe the forgiveness happens and you do Ho'oponopono or these kind of affirmative prayers over the next couple weeks, preparing yourself for the full moon, where then you really like do some type of big cleanse, energetic ritual that you intend to release whatever this interference is, whatever this individual is, And I had a conversation with someone not long ago who wanted cord cutting, and they kept telling me, oh, but they don't want everything cut because just in case the relationship could happen again. And it was very fascinating to me, because in my interpretation, that means like someone's not necessarily at the place to really have those things cut. So that's okay. There's no rush. It's going to happen when it needs to happen, whether it's in this lifetime or if it's in another lifetime. And also what happens, and I can speak from personal experience, when you cut away the things that no longer serve you, that have caused you harm, then you allow opportunities that are so much better. Okay. I can tell you this because I've gone through it with like some not so healthy relationships that I was like, oh my God, this is like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then when I finally realized, okay, no, this is not. there's something better, and I don't know what that looks like, but I know that there is, and I can tell you like 10,000-fold that there is. So whatever that means for you. But name here. Oh, hey, Deb. Yeah, for sure. We'll get you some cards. Long time. But yes, name here, the octopus. Look at this like tentally creature. So like, it's like, so it's also like the hyena. It's a bit of a deceptive energy. It can hide. If you watch them in video, they can camouflage, they can change color, they do their thing. So like, how can you be this? And I'm thinking of like that Teenage Kraken, like the Teenage Kraken movie. I don't know, it's a funny movie, but the creature like it grows so massively, right? It becomes a monster, and it's interesting because those monsters are actually the Krakens are in this movie. At least they're only the woman of the line. So the daughter, the mother, the grandmother. They are the ones that hold this ability to move and basically destroy and rule the waters. So there's something I feel like this octopus energy can bring forth for you, name here this month. You got your work cut out. But yeah, if you need support with energy cutting or, you know, whatever, this is some of the stuff I do with folks online, in person. You can obviously reach out, check out my website, the link's below. Join the community membership. There'll be some other opportunities showing up there too. I trust you are more than capable of doing it. I'm just here when, yeah, people feel they want to play within the magical and energetic realm. I like what I just said there. I realize you guys, anyways, okay, name here. I think that's it for you. I'm going to release you, your energy or whatever. Not that I'm holding you, but release that. Hope the reading's supportive. We're going to move on. Deborah, Deb, 1980. But yeah, I wanted to speak. I realized the other day, I'm a Scorpio. I can be like very intense. As I mentioned, I can be intense. And I recognize that not everyone has that intensity. A good 12th, a good another, 11/12ths of the population don't have that. And not that they don't have it, but like, I definitely feel like I'm oftentimes, here I am like getting into the depths of things and really like looking at like, how can we transform this and get in that like shadow and let's work it out and like, it's going to be great. But I recognize not everyone's in that place. You're probably like tired. People are tired. All they do is work. All they are doing is like running people around and playing catch up with like millions of emails and all the things. And it's tiring. And I want this to be fun and playful because that's how I actually live my life. I feel like like if you really see what I do most of my days, like I'm just kind of like do. I don't have a regular type job. Like I've like stepped into this life of like freedom, which to me is play and it is fun and it is curious and explorative. And I hope to share that with you through these videos and the things that I'm creating and so forth. So if this is something that really is calling to you, you want more fun and like play in your life, you don't know how, more pleasure, because God knows, especially women, don't do that for themselves. I'm not talking sexual pleasure at all necessarily. I mean, that's part of it, but I'm talking like just to like fucking have fun. Women, especially, it seems, have just been learning to like put that down and cush it. Now is the chance for you to like finally embrace that. And there's so many ways to do that, whether it's the magical practices, whether it's altered states and plant medicine, whatever. It's about an exploration of yourself and being like in a situation where you get to be normalized for what you're experiencing in your life. Ooh. So anyways, just saying that, please join more here, engage more, and let's see what happens for you around that. I didn't realize that your kids are Scorpios, Deb. All I can say is like, oh my God, I'm so glad I don't have to be around like any other Scorpios in my household because I don't know how I would do it. But at the same time, I have a Taurus and an Aries, both like the bull and the horn, and the bull and the ram, both horn beings. So they keep me on my toes because I can't get anyone to do anything, it seems. Anyways, Dad, okay, let's pull some cards for you. Ooh, is this a card? Okay. Didn't you like get this like last time? I don't know. Princess of Discs. It's almost like you're being told again and again here to return to nature is what I'm hearing. Like, return to nature, connect to nature. There's something about nature. And this card has become, I believe this is the card representing in the equinox in September. So there's like this full circle energy that occurs, and there's a lot of power in that. You have also the Four of Swords. Ooh, there's like something moving there. 1, 2, 3, 4. From the heart up, words, thoughts that needed to be spoken. You have this truce card. So maybe if there was some conflict or something that was happening, like if whether it's already resolved itself or it's about to be resolved, that's kind of like a hopeful card, I feel, for you. What about nature then for them? What else is here? What is this for the month of September? Her ancestor. Ooh, okay. We have the Trump card. Adjustment. So I feel like this is like your ancestors being like, in order for this truce to happen, you need to adjust your perspective. Like nature is going to help. Nature is going to help you to, I don't know if I showed you this. I did. Nature is going to help you. Like when you spend time in nature, Deb, it's going to help you to then come from this more adjusted space. That was so trippy. There was like right there, just kind of like went wavy and weird. So maybe there's like, I don't know, something trying to like come and communicate to you, Deb. Nature's going to help you to connect. If there is some ancestor, some guide, spiritual guide, an energetic entity or being, you might be scared of it, but I feel like it's there. It's wanting to come through from just beyond the veil to help you with this other perspective as well. You know, I see this almost, you might not, but like it's almost as if she's pulling back a veil. I need to put these cards down. Almost like there's this veil here being, oh my God, you guys, it's so backwards. We pulled back, stepping through so that then this clarity, this balance. And the funny part is that this adjustment card, she like as the kind of scale holder is blind. Justice is blind, can't see. So how could you possibly be scared of what you're going to see if you can't see, if that makes sense? So like maybe this is even an invitation, kind of like at the beginning, to close the eyes and have this internal vision. You know, you can even also speak like, hey, I'm okay with you showing up and me gaining the knowledge and the insight. I need you to like show it to me in a way that feels comfortable or safe. Well, maybe not even comfortable, because I think it's good to be pushed a little bit outside your comfort zone. Anyways, I see lots of people are on here. If you'd like cards pulled for yourself for this month, please let me know in the comments and we'll get you some cards. Okay, let's pull a chakra card here. Anything else that needs to be known about this adjustment card for Deb? There's something about the polarity I'm seeing because of all these little balls that are like, you know, we have a darker ball up here, orb, and we have a lighter one here. So there's something about that polarity too around the balance, okay? Yeah, there's something about your heart chakra, because I said there's something moving at the initial step of this, but there's something about this victim. It's like victim blaming, I wonder too. Are you doing that? Which is interesting. And I never really would have thought that would come up with this, but like, are you victim blaming on someone else? Maybe you know something happened to someone, and this might be a way for you to shift the perspective. Like, oh my God, I had this horrible thing happen and I da 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 da. But then it's like when we see the same scenario outside of ourselves happening towards someone else, we can easily start to blame the person who is the victim there. Oh, like, well, she shouldn't have done that. That's why that thing happened, even though that same thing happened to me, if that makes sense. So there's something about this victim blaming, I want to say, Deborah, that might need to be explored as this sort of balancing a new perspective you're gaining. This will be a part of it, to be like, oh, I too do that thing. And that's why, or I too have experienced that. Why am I blaming this other individual? And then this peace, I want to say truce, peace, internal with the swords. Also internal in the sense of the materialism that's happening, because 4 being tied to the sphere of chesed, which is kind of like the 4th sphere is what brings everything into this actual reality from those higher triad, the higher triad, or those 3 kind of not so tangible spheres on the tree of life. Maybe one day you guys will actually put that tree of life image up here. Probably should. I enjoy it down in my other space, but probably would help to have it here. Okay, I'll put one of these for you, Deb. A little dragon and squirrel having a conversation, and the poor net's just like, why? Why am I so... He's gonna eat me, but the dragon's gonna eat the squirrel, it looks like. Everyone's at some point in the hierarchy. So here's a symbol for you, Deb, to meditate. We have fire, this upward facing triangle or upward pointing triangle. Interestingly, because we're coming out of summer, you know, we're not going to have so much fire anymore. So you might need to tap into fire in other ways. Again, nature, man, going out in nature, letting the sun bathe you as much as possible. If you live near a ravine, do so. Go out, just stand outside, stand in an open window when it gets colder out, and just let the sun bask in the sunlight. Yeah, and then this, because I feel like we need an animal for some reason. There's a reason these cards came out. Oh, the hyena. Well, that was our collective animal, so I don't feel like I need to repeat myself necessarily. But like this polarity again of the half moon, half light, half dark, the hyena's fur being half. I'm not sure really why I'm feeling like I need to turn this in all the different directions, but it's a thing. And interesting, look, the hyena actually has the fire triangle at the top. So very much tied to fire. I'm going to just open up the book here and just check what this fire element says for you. Light, creativity, drive, purity, passion, and new opportunities. The element of fire can free you from boredom, clear karma, and give you the energy required to take action. Be warned, though, too much fire can also burn, so be mindful of utilizing this energy wisely by channeling it creatively. Meditate on the symbol with the assistance of a candle to inspire creativity, motivation, and passion. That might be something to support you. That's all I have to say for you, Dad. Me. That's all I have to say on behalf of wherever it comes from. Okay. Let me see. I don't see any more requests for cards, so I think we're going to wrap it up here. Obviously, these are like, you know, if you're just watching or tuning in now, you can go back and watch the replay for the collective reading at the beginning. But as I mentioned, we're going to be having, did I think I mentioned that? Oh, God. Every week, you guys, Wednesdays. Next week, I think it's going to be at 12. And there's no good time to host these things, you know? That's what I'm learning. There's no good time to host it. But I'm going to start the Magical Playgrounds, these lives every week. This is going to be the new focus. And will just be a chance to come on and chat about magical things and have some fun. Take part, join me live, watch the recording, whatever you feel called. And we'll see what happens. Wednesdays are Magical Mercury Day, you know? So let's see, what can we create together? What momentum? Probably we'll pull some cards, kind of tune into some stuff, not necessarily on a personal level, though. We'll see what happens. But what's going to start is actually the tarot. We're going to explore the tarot trump cards, those 22 major arcana cards of the tarot. So we pulled, well, we're not going to use the Thoth deck, but like adjustment. We pulled the Devil card before, right? These different cards, the Priestess, so what's the Fool? Look, we got Death. We're going to be exploring each of these cards over the next 22, 23 weeks, starting next week with the Fool. So these Wednesday Magical Playgrounds will be a chance to kind of come and learn and also have a bit of conversation. You'll be texting on the chat because, yeah, it's not going to be on Zoom. It's going to be on YouTube. So if you're interested in joining there, definitely invite you to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you know when it's going live. I think it's posted so you can actually be notified of when that actual scheduled event happens next week on the 11th. Ooh, September 11th. That's a good date. I mean, because it's just like 9/11 is a magical number. So that, and obviously, if you are wanting to support this channel, support what I do, I invite you to join the community membership. So there's 2 different tiered memberships. We have the Zealotr membership, which is like your basic membership. I oftentimes put like independent kind of card pull readings there. There's also other opportunities to explore like the community portal in that area. And then there's also the Practicus membership. And that gives you access to a lot of my previously recorded videos and teaching, like kind of lectures. There's a pathworking lecture on there. There's stuff on the Gematria and Kabbalah, and there's going to be way more to come. So I greatly appreciate even just the like, thumbs up, whatever, you subscribing, as that shows other people who are kind of also interested in these conversations. It links them through the algorithm to check out this channel. And I would be very grateful for that. So be sure to, tune into all these different things. Whatever you feel called to, and let's learn, let's play together and explore this stuff, you know? But yeah, I'm very grateful to you all. Ooh, what card fell over here? Ugh, where is it? We're gonna close with this. Wishes come true. There's a symbol for us as we wrap up this energy update. Rapid achievement of your dreams and wishes. Hail. So we call to those guides and all of ours. We thank them, those ancestors, those beings who've been here. We cut any ties that we've created with each other here today that do not serve us, okay? That we can all move forward in our individual sovereignty, and also as a collective in our own past and the places that we find ourselves, just calling those guides, those beings to support each of us there as we enter into this month. Oh, that we may have open hearts to do so. And so if you want to imagine a green ball of light in your heart space at your chest center, and just imagine it beaming out into the world, bringing value, bringing light and love and warmth into the entire planet, each human walking, each animal existing, and all the trees, all the natural elements, those seen and not seen. Just imagining that ball of light just really expanding out into the universe. All of it stems from you. And so I'm here today. I'm sharing with you. And the beautiful thing is you get to go and share with your world. This is what it's about, with the people and the communities around you. And we're all doing this in our own unique way. So whatever that looks like for you, I pray that it's the most magical and most playful time for you. Yeah. So thank you all. And until next week, I will see you guys, in another live. Okay. Take care.